For us to state Tina's possible scores, what we can do is to try to list down all the possible scores that Tina is going to be obtained. And to do this, one very organized way is to actually make use of the format of grid. So Tina is going to be picking two discs, which means that for the first disc, she may be picking a green, a blue, or a red. For the second one, she can also be picking a green, blue, or red. Let's give a little bit of details to the grid that we are forming. According to the question, green disk has a point 0, blue has point 2, and red has point 5. So here is also 0 to 5. Is it possible for Tina to be picking green followed by a green? This is not possible because according to the question, within the bag, there's only one green disc. So this is not possible. So it is possible for Tina to be picking one green followed by one blue. And the score will be taking 0 multiplied by 2. So this is going to be 0. Similarly, 0 multiplied by 5. This gives me 0 when Tina picks a green followed by a red. I can fill in the column here also. 0 times 2, this is going to be 0. 0 times 5, this is also going to be 0. And when Tina pick a blue followed by a blue, it is going to be 2 times 2. Will be 4. 2 times 5, this is going to be 10. And 5 times 2, this is also going to be 10. And if Tina were to be picking one red followed by another red, it is going to be 5 times 5. That is going to be equal to 25. So looking at this, we are looking at all the possible scores Tina may be obtaining. So she may be obtaining either a 0 or a 4 or 10 or a 25. In part 2, we are going to let X be Tina's score. And the first thing that we should try to do is to build the probability distribution table. From part 1, we know that the possible scores that Tina will be getting are 0, 4, 10, 25. So for the probability that Tina is going to be getting a score of 0, I think I'm going to just use a notation, probability that X is equal to 0, to represent that probability. And the reason is because I know for this particular question, we are supposed to be finding the expectation of X, which I will be taking this multiplied by the corresponding probability. And since X is 0 here, multiplying by anything, it is still going to be 0. So I don't see a point of us trying to spend time calculating the probability of these 4 different cases. So I'm going to just leave it as a notation. Let's move on to finding the probability when X is equal to 4. So when X is equal to 4, there's just this one single case. So the first disk that Tina is going to be getting will be blue color, and that will be 2R divided by the total number of disks will be green. Red, there are R number of them. Blue, there are 2R number of them. So the total number of this is going to be 3R plus 1. So this is the probability of getting the first blue disk. And the second one, it will be 1 less than this. So 2R minus 1 divided by, there will also be 1 less than this. So divided by 3R. And this is going to be simplified to 2R minus 1 divided by 3R plus 1. 10. To get a score of 10, there are 2 possible cases. One is this. So that will be a red disk, then followed by a blue disk. To get a red disk, there are R number of red disks. So the first one, if it were to be a red disk, it is going to be R divided by 3R plus 1. Then if the second one is a blue disk, it is going to be 2R divided by 3R. And since this case, it is a blue followed by a red, so the probability is actually going to be exactly the same as this. So I'm going to just simply take this probability multiplied by 2. It will give me the total probabilities of the 2 cases. So this here is going to be 4R divided by 3R plus 1. And for Tina to be getting a score of 25, there's just one single case, which is red followed by red. So for the first one to be red, it is going to be R divided by 3R plus 1. Then the second one to be also red, it is going to be R minus 1 divided by 3R. And this is equal to R minus 1 divided by 3 of R plus 1. So now with this, we can calculate the we can calculate the expectation of x. And that is going to be summing all the x multiplied by the corresponding probabilities. And the first one, it will be 0 multiplied by the probability that x is equal to 0, which is going to turn out to be 0. So that is why I don't think it is necessary for us to be committing time to be calculating this. So next, we have 4 multiplied by this. So let me write it down. It is going to be 4 multiplied by 2r minus 1 divided by 3r plus 1. Okay, then next it is going to be 10 multiplied by 4r divided by 3r plus 1. And finally, it is going to be 25 multiplied by r minus 1 divided by 3 of r plus 1. So this is going to turn out to be 0. Here they share the common denominator. So the denominator is going to be 3r plus 1. Let's group all the numerators together. So the first one that we have here is going to be equal to 16r minus away 8. Then 10 times 4r, it is going to be plus 40r. And this is going to be plus 25r minus 25. And I will divide this by the common denominator, which is 3r plus 1. So this is going to work out to be a numerator with 81r minus 33 divided by 3r plus 1, which can be reduced to dividing by 3 in the numerator and the same for the denominator. You'll be reduced to 27r minus 11 divided by 3r plus 1. And this is what the question requires us to show. Expectation of x. The next thing that we are going to do is to find the expectation of x squared, because we are going to be calculating the variance of x, and we're going to be applying the formula that will require us to calculate for the expectation of x squared first. So for the expectation of x squared, it is going to be summation of x squared multiplied by the probability that x is equal to x. So it is going to be 0 squared multiplied by this. So once again, we do not need to know the actual value for probability of x is equal to 0, plus 4 squared multiplied by this. So 2r minus 1 divided by 3r plus 1, plus 10 squared multiplied by this, which is 4r divided by 3r plus 1. And we will have a 25 squared multiplied by r minus 1 divided by 3r plus 1 again for the denominator. They all share the same common denominator, which is 3r plus 1. And as for the numerator, let's combine them together again. So it will be 4 squared multiplied by 4r. This is equal to 64r, then minus 32. 100 multiplied by 4, this gives me 400r. 25 squared is 625, so plus 625r minus 625. The denominator is this, which is 3r plus 1. And this is going to be 1089r minus 657 divided by 3r plus 1, and it can be simplified to 363r minus 219 divided by 3r plus 1. So now we have the expression for expectation of x and the expectation of x squared. So now we can calculate for the expectation of x, and that will be expectation of x squared minus expectation of x squared. So this is 363r minus 219 divided by 3r plus 1 minus away expectation of x. square, 27r minus 11 divided by 3r plus 1 square. Let's try to simplify this. So for here, we are going to make this to become one that has a denominator of 3r plus 1 square. So they will share the same denominator. So this will be 363r minus 219 multiplied by 3r plus 1 in the numerator and the denominator. If I were to combine both together, we will have this 27r minus 11 square. And this is going to be divided by, for the denominator, 3r plus 1 square. Expanding this, we will get, here we will be getting a 1089r square plus 363r minus 657r minus 219. Expanding this, this is going to be getting us a 729r square minus 594r, then plus 121. And this is going to be divided by 3r plus 1 square. Combining this further, simplifying it, we will be getting a 360r square plus 300r minus 340 divided by, the denominator here is 3r plus 1 square. And this is going to be the variance of x. And the last part is easy. We are given that the variance of x is equal to 38. And we are supposed to solve for r. So using the variance that we have found in the previous part, this is 360r square plus 300r minus 340 is divided by 3r plus 1 square. This is equal to 38. So 360r square plus 300r minus 340. This is going to be 38. This, if I were to expand, I will have a 9r square plus 6r plus 1. Expanding this and then shifting everything over to the left-hand side, we will be getting a 18r square plus 72r minus 378 is equal to 0. Then using our calculator, r is going to be equal to minus 7, or r is going to be equal to 3. And since the question says that r must be a number that is bigger than 1, we know that this is going to be rejected.